Maybe it'll be a good idea if on Wednesday's class or Friday's class, we can go through the app and try and use it a little bit more now that we all kind of have had some time to mess with it, let it sink
I agree,
in.
because it is a little different on how it works, but I'm like you, Francia, I haven't let go of my other one because that's like, my security blanket. So, but I am putting the companies in the new app. Okay, Jonathan, I'm going to hand it over to you, and then I'm going to say my piece.
Sounds good. Do you want to do your announcement now, or we can do that later as well?
I can do it now. How many people do we have on? It doesn't matter. We have the
68.
people.
Let's wait for a little bit.
The count.
I want everyone to be able to hear the announcements, so.
I know, but everybody is
Bugambilia
here.
has their hand raised.
Bugambilia, ask to unmute.
Julie, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, mi cielo. ¿Cómo estás tú?
También bien, Julie. Yo tenía una pregunta del point and figure chart
Ok.
para Tesla.
Ok, ¿quieres que vaya allí?
Sí, por favor.
Claro. Allá voy corriendo. Ya estoy ahí. Ok.
Ok, ya ves cómo tiene que estar en the column of X's si sube para arriba para que marque.
El precio de compra. Perdón, no, te cambié el perro y te cambié el collar, ¿ok? Aquí está Tesla. Ok, aquí está.
I was like, oh, then.
No,
Yeah,
no, yo sé. Te hice trampa. Ok.
You
Sí.
see how the column of X's has to go up in order for the price to go
Yes.
up y nos dé el buy signal?
That's right. So now
If
it's going down.
Pero ¿por qué no está marcando? Oh. Pero ¿por qué
Porque
el número rojo está arriba y no abajo?
okay.
So here's the reason. ¿Puedo contestar
Claro.
en inglés o prefieres
Yeah,
en
go ahead,
español?
go ahead.
No, it's okay, Jonathan.
Okay. So what happens is if the stock reaches a new low, it will add the
Oh,
zero.
when it
So
goes to
what
a new
happened was
box.
the price went down to the 910 box and then reversed all the way back up to 990. But because the new change it did today was that new zero, it can't do a zero and then do a column of X's. So if you check this tomorrow morning at stock market open time, you'll see that you'll have a giant green line up to the 990 price.
Ay, mijito, pero mira que tú eres inteligente, por favor.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I know the buying price will be like 940,
Yeah, because here.
940, 955. I know it without excess because Julie teaches.
No,
But
what's the new buy price? Excuse me.
Oh, hold on, 935.
Excuse me.
I'm looking over my phone. Hold on, Julie, let me, 9.
No. What's the new buy price? Either 9 nada.
Hold on. Oh, okay. It's 1,305 will be.
No, 1,030. It's 1,030.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Okay. That word that was so
Yeah,
hard
that's
for me
why
to say.
it confused
Yeah.
me, Julie, because I was like
It would have confused
watching.
me too.
Yeah, I was expecting to see the X's on the bottom part. I was like, where are my
Yeah.
X's?
Yeah, no, but it's that because it was retracing itself. Viste, estaba pasando, y eso yo no lo explicó, Jonathan lo explicó, yo no me había dado cuenta, pero es porque estaba pasando por arriba de un camino que ya se habían dado por él.
Okay. Okay. Porque yo dije, ¿dónde están? ¿Dónde están?
Tienes
Okay.
toda la razón. No. Pregunta, exige. Great question. Great question.
Okay. Pues eso era todo, Julie. Muchas
mi amor.
gracias. Estoy
Pues
aprendiendo
nada,
mucho.
pero qué bueno. Mira, yo también, mira cómo yo aprendo. Ay, yo también. Es que no, aquí no hay ego. Aquí, mira qué bueno. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Of course,
I
it's
love it.
not the first time that we've seen that, but it's the first time I've actually known the answer. Because people have asked the same question before, and I tried figuring out the answer, but never could. And only now did it click what was going on. So thank you. That's
I
really,
don't know
really interesting.
what we're showing here.
We're showing
What
your
is-
lovely face.
No, I see something. I see some colgaderas por la izquierda, like, oh, I see Francia's room. I don't know why I see Francia's room. That is
Anyway,
so cute.
so the plan for today is, last class we went over a list of about 25 to 30 stocks that you guys wanted to discuss. So we're going to continue going through that list today, trying to be a little bit quicker. So we're going to go through them pretty quickly, mainly looking at A, buy price, B, the buy window, and then for certain stocks, my mom's going to take over and go over the simple moving average and exponential moving average. So how we'll use that information so you know when to sacar la nata. So let's start with the first stock that we have on the list, ORGS. And I will share my screen momentarily so we can go over this together. Yeah, I can pull up the automated be a profit. While I'm doing that, Kira and I will be posting the link for our Google Drive folder in the chat, as well as it will be in the description of this video. If you want to reference any of the files that we have from this class or other classes, all of those files are going to be within this folder. So this is the one link to rule them all. And it's in the
some
chat
of you
right
have
now.
asked for permission. You don't need permission. You just hit file, copy.
Mhm. So to show you guys how you would do that really quickly, here is our spreadsheet. If I wanted to make a copy of this, oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Well, just poke right here and then right here, and that should work. Let's try this. Whoa, hello, advertisement. So can everyone see my screen? Fantastic.
Yes.
So if you want to make a copy of this yourself, you don't need to request for permission. All you need to do is go up here to File, and then click on Make a Copy. And this will let you choose a folder in your Google Drive that you can put it in. I do believe you need to be logged into Google for this, but it's very easy to create an account if you don't already have one. So,
you mean a Gmail account
Google
or a
account,
Google
yep.
account? Oh,
So,
okay.
Yep, Google account. So this is all you're going to need right here. So if people have any issues with that, please shoot us an email at tudineroconjulie@gmail.com and we can do our best to help out. So,
I need help with that.
so let's get started. The first stock that we have is Orgenesis, which is a stock on the NASDAQ index. If we look at the fundamentals for it, it's going to be this column right here. So pretty strong earnings per share. Return on equity is very high. Low institutional investors, but that's not a bad thing. That just means there's more room for people like us, but there's not many hippos in the pool yet. And 15% below their highest for the year. So that's the only thing that I see that kind of rings a little bell in my head, but if that's the worst thing that we have to deal with, so be it. That's not very bad. So let's look at the point and figure out our buy price and buy range. Now, because we're going to be doing this for a lot of stocks, you guys already know the questions I'm going to ask. Feel free to just start spewing out the answers and we'll see where we can get with that. So for every stock we find, I'm going to ask for the buy range and the buy price. So what is the buy price? I see a couple of people in chat have been getting the correct answer for that.
Remember when it seemed so impossible to figure out? And now it's like,
Yep, everyone's getting it. So it's going to be this line that I'm drawing right here because it's the box above the previous column of X's. So in order for this stock to be on a buy signal, we would need to see it reverse into a column of that's not where I'm drawing. We would need to see it reverse into a column of X's and then go up above that green line. So that would be our buy price of $8.50. Now, that's when you would buy it. How do you know if it's too late to buy? That's where we add our 10% buy window or our buy range. In order to figure that out, we take the price that the buy price was at and add 10% to it. So 10% of $8.50 is 85 cents. Let's round up to $1. So it's going to be $1 above 8.50, or our buy range is going to be between 8.50 and 9.50. So this range that we have right here, this right here is our buy range. Everyone good with that so far? No questions? If so, please raise your hand. This is going to be what we're going to be doing for a couple of stocks, so I really want everyone to be able to follow this because I'm going to start going a little bit quicker as we go through these examples. Isn't the price too low? So it is pretty close to where we want to start thinking about, is this a penny stock or is this a reputable company? That's where I would look more towards the fundamentals, where we're seeing strong fundamentals across the company as opposed to it just being a company with little to no fundamentals or a newer company that doesn't have as big of a track record. Carolina has a question. Carolina?
Hello? Yes,
Hi.
hi. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How about you?
Very good, very happy.
That's
I
what we
have a
like to
question.
hear.
I have a question. I try to get more familiar when is the price to buy and when is the range. But I always have the question, what does it mean, the blue line and the red line?
The blue line and the red line, I'll go through that in 1 second. I just need to stop somebody from drawing all over my stuff.
Okay.
One of you guys is a troublemaker, I'll tell you that.
Okay, in the meantime,
How did you...
Nettie sent me the numbers for the sectors because he said he forgot to include them with the first spreadsheet. And as you see here, the sector number 2 is basic materials. 3, see how you see in number 6? Because that way you are going to see some of these fill in. So you need to fill that sector column in, and then you, with the number, and then it's going to calculate some of the columns that are not filled in right now. Does that make sense? See how number 6 is healthcare?
Here, let's use ORGS as an example. So if we need to find out what sector it is in, one of the best ways to do that is go to FinViz, where it will show you right here that it is in the healthcare sector and in the biotechnology industry.
Yeah, this is just one sector.
That's going to be our 6. So if we type in 6 here, the one thing that's going to change, keep an eye on this G column, because now we see that our P&E ratio fills in for that sector. So if we had another company that say, let's say ORGS was in the utilities sector, we would put in 10. And you'll see that 19.17 change to 31.84 to show the new price to earnings ratio of that sector. That is really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll add that as we go through.
He had sent it to me and I forgot to forward that to you. So that's why I put it in the chat now.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was confusing, Lucia, but it was because I didn't give you all of the information. That's why.
Let me, give me 1 second. I'll find somewhere pretty to put this so it,
Oh, look at that.
there we go. So now you
Okay.
can have this over here if you ever need to take a look. Awesome. So let's move on to the next one. So we're going
Okay, wait, but we have a question about the blue line and the red line.
We do, sorry, thank you. So the blue line and the red line are trends. So that is a positive or a negative trend. Now, the way that you figure out what it is the blue lines are our positives and the red lines are our negatives. So when would we change from a blue line to a red line? The red line, every time our column changes from X's or O's, the box gets 1 box lower. So it continues to go down this way.
It's always a 45-degree angle.
Exactly.
Always up or down.
And then when the column of X's goes above the red line, or when our column of O's goes below the blue line, we would switch. So that's when we would go from being in a red downtrend, like we see here, to a blue uptrend that we see here. Does that make sense? So it's showing you the long-term trend of that stock or of that comparison. And it will always be a 45-degree line, red going down, blue going up.
And you should never buy, or very cautiously when it's under, when it's the long-term trend is down, and buy when the long-term trend is up. Like here, the price was 6, and that's when it broke the trend and it kept going up. That's a good sign. So now, as long as that 0 stays there and doesn't go down to break the 375, that's what it has to break now to go into a low, to a downtrend again. It has to break the blue line. And the blue line is set up in the lowest O to the left of when the X broke the roof. You go down to the basement, the lowest basement, the closest lowest basement, and you make your line. When it breaks the blue, as you can see it here, where it's the 7 and the 5 and the 7, go to the left. When those two O's broke the blue, then it went up to the highest X to the left, and it made the line. See it? But you don't have to do that. It does it for you. So you know that if it's below the red line, it's in a long-term bad trend. And if it's above the blue line, it's in a happy trend, long-term. That's
Also,
all you have to remember.
Somebody asked, well, 2 questions. One, I don't see sector number 1. There isn't a sector number 1. So it's between 2 and 10. And then there was a second question of,
Probably
can I
because that's the
download
S&P
this?
500.
But you should be able to download it.
No,
Download it. You can download it as an Excel, but if you take it off of Google Drive, the formulas I don't think will work. You need to use another program to actually connect to the internet. But I'll do some testing. Let me write this down. I will test if you can download it. My initial answer is no, but I will confirm that for Wednesday.
But if you hit on the boxes, if you hit on the box, then the formula shows up, or it should.
Right, but if you remember, we used to have to use a program in order to connect Excel to the internet. This was way back when. This was when I was doing the stock market class in 8th grade.
I know, Jonathan. But you see here with the substitute index, all of that. Okay, each box has a jerigonza like that.
Right. Right, but I don't know if this works if you download it. Neri. Excel uses different formulas. I tried. Yeah. Okay. So you can't download it. You would need to make a copy and keep it on Google Drive. So thank you, Neri. Let's keep moving. So
oh yeah.
the next share that we have is going to be ENT. ENT, if we go over here. Is ear, nose, throat. No, sorry. Is Global Eagle Entertainment. Ooh, didn't have too good of a day today, but let's take a look at the fundamentals. If we look here
lower
at
a little, please. Oh, okay.
If we look here at ENT, we've got a beta of 0.87, EPS of 67%, 3 million shares float, so we want to see this number be above our 25%, which it is. Decent return on equity, pretty good institutional investors, but way below its 52-week high. So let's look at this now in the chart. It's had a very big decline over the past few months. Yes.
However, it's
Entertainment
in an
industry
uptrend
is-
now.
Yeah. It is in an uptrend now because of this giant takeoff that it had at the start of the month. But we see how, you know, when you drop something into water, how you have these little ripples that go out from it? Oftentimes stocks will do a very similar thing
Mhm.
where they'll take off, but after a certain point, they're going to bounce back a little bit, and you're going to see them kind of bouncing back and forth until it finally settles at a price. So you can see that same idea happening here, then here. And now we're starting to see it happen again.
And it could go either way. It's not giving you any clues of how it could go, but if you go back like Jonathan did, it will tell you what this stock normally does, what it likes to do, which is not good.
Correct. So we don't know which way it's going to go, but what we know is that it has a history of these big corrections as it goes towards another kind of takeoff or crash. But for me, I would really be looking to see that 52-week high, the price get closer towards that, because right now I don't know which way it could come out of this little pyramid that it's turning into here. Do you have any other things you want to add, Mom? Or
No, I just have a list of other stocks and 2 new ones for the list.
cool. Then let's go through a couple more examples and then we can get to that list. Does that work?
Mm.
Cool. Okay. So same 2 questions as usual. Buy price, buy window. People are getting the buy price. Anyone wanna go out on a limb and yep. Everyone is hitting the nail right on the head. So if I turn this
Dancer.
back into green,
You're brilliant.
we see this right here is our buy price and our buy range. Because we're at $9, we're going to just round up to 10. So our buy window is between $9 and $10.
Mm-hmm. And one day you're going to thank us for the matraquilla, okay? That we keep telling you and you say, enough already. Well, it's really in there and you're going to know it forever.
Mm-hmm. And at a certain point, you stop having to think about the numbers and you can just look at the chart and know. And that's the fun of it, is where you start to see the patterns and the trends appearing instead of just trying to figure out the specific buy price or buy range. It becomes an art. Really,
and when you see
investing
it
is
in
an
your
art.
sleep, then that's time to give it a rest.
I sleep with X's and O's in my head. Don't even get me started. Okay. Let's move on to Apple. Apple is a very, very interesting stock.
19.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we see a uptrend that's lasted for almost 2 years straight, which is incredible, honestly. If we look at their fundamentals, are people messing with my spreadsheet?
No, that's me.
Someone's messing with my spreadsheet. Are you messing with my spreadsheet?
Yes.
I'm not
How
touching
dare
it.
you? Okay, Apple. We have an EPS of 3.8%, which, given everything that's been going on, is not terrible, not good, but it is. So this is going to be in the technology sector. So we would be able to put in 9 here, and we can see that their EPS is slightly above the industry standard, or the industry average, sorry. Sector average. Return on equity, 64%, pretty good. Float, 4.33 billion. It's Apple, it's a pretty big company. And 3% below its 52-week high, which to me is very, very cool, because we see that its 52-week high is right now. So that number is the highest it's been in, well, the entire chart so far. So it's very, very cool to see it up near this price. Now, what would our buy price be and what would our buy range be?
I was messing with it to fix MOGA.
And when you see a stock with that long of a blue line, it tells you that it is a long-term leader. That is the kind of stock that you can hold for months, maybe years.
So a lot of people are getting it. It is going to be
Daniela has a question.
our buy price at 356. And then our buy range would be $36 above that. So it'd be up to $391. There's two questions. Daniela, you have a question?
Yeah, so my first question is, on the sector part on the chart, why did you put 9 on the sector part?
So 9 is the technology sector. So over on the right-hand side here, it disappeared. No! Oh, there it is. So we have our different sector numbers that these numbers are what we use for each sector. So for example, if I wanted to find the technology sector, I would put in the number 9.
Okay, thank
So
you.
that's where I got this number from, and then that will fill in the sector P&E.
Okay, thank you.
Someone else asked a really good question. The important thing to see in the graphs is the red and blue lines and the purchase price. To me, when I look at these, I don't really look at the blue and red lines as much as I look at the point and figure buy and the point and figure sell. So I will be looking for if the current column of X's is above the previous column of X's, and I'll be looking for if the current column of O's is below the previous column of O's. And that's usually where I will find most of the information I tend to use. Mom, do you
I
use
agree,
the
because
trend
that's
lines?
telling you that it's holding its price at the top. If you have a long O, then that's telling you that it broke down.
And Antonio, to your question, do the sector numbers stay the same or do they change?
No,
The P&E numbers will change over time. However, the sector numbers that we have here, those are created by Meli. So those are going to be the same.
So I got a question from Mabel. When we decide to sell stocks, especially when they're going down, are they sold immediately or how does it work? Thanks.
Are you referring to?
a market order?
Yeah.
Immediately. The
Yeah,
next
market
price
order
is
fills
yours.
immediately.
Mine, I get a confirmation maybe 3 seconds.
Cool. So Apple, again, our
Yes,
buy.
Sandy, drips are for long investments.
Yes. So here we see our buy price is $356 and our buy range would be 10% above that. If we average it out, $36, or if we round, it's going to be $36. So our buy range for Apple is between $356 and $391. Sadly, the chart doesn't go there, so I'm just going to pretend. Ta-da! All right, cool. Let's go through a few more examples. Can we give an example on how to identify when to sell? Sure. I will go
Let me
over
cover
these.
that.
Okay.
Let me cover that when I do the ones now.
Okay. So let's use one more example of a buy signal, and then we'll take a break and we'll go over sell signals or when to sell. So the last one I want to do is Dexcom, which is DXCM. Which, well, what is or what was the buy price for Dexcom? Yeah, 392. Right there. Now, are we still in the buy range? Because we hit our buy signal today. What is our buy range? $431. Let's see. So if we take 10% of 391, or sorry, 392, we'll get 39. So 39 plus 392 will give us 431. Everyone hit the nail right on the head. So it'd be somewhere around here-ish.
And can you see some coincidence, not so much coincidence, where Jonathan just made that line? What is that? Can you see the X's to the left? Last time it made it to there, and then it went down, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There's a method to this madness. This is pattern following. This isn't just ideas. This is pattern, and see how that line goes right there? That's why that's your buying. If it goes beyond that, then if you have it, you keep it. But if you don't have it, don't buy it, because some people bought it at that 428, and guess what they're doing? Lighting up candles, waiting for the price to come back to it again so they can sell it. And you don't want to get caught up in that.
We caught this stock at an awesome time. That is super cool. Just to quickly take a look at its fundamentals, it's slightly less volatile than the market, or rather the price changes are a little bit less than the market. Our earnings per share is crazy at 171%. Our P&E is 250. That is a premium stock if I've ever seen one. But again, it's not a bad thing. That means that we're willing, like the reason that Apple is a good company, the reason that a lot of luxury companies are very successful is because people are willing to pay extra for the company or for the quality that they get. So by saying Dexcom has a P&E of 250, that means that the value of that stock is almost 10 times the average for its industry, which is incredible. Our return on equity, still above our 15%. Our institutional investors is 98%, which is very high. And our top dollar is 7% below. So the only thing that would make me kind of look at this second time is the 98 here. But again, that just means that it's a stock that a lot of people know about. It's not going to be your hidden gem, but that doesn't mean that it can't make you money, because there's still money to be made. As we see, there is this large buy range between its current buy price and its 52-week high that we can see the price go up to and maybe even pass, but we never know for sure, but I'll definitely be here to tell you guys if that happens. Kevin asked a question, how do we find the price to earnings ratio for companies and sector? That is a great question, Kevin. So let's use Dexcom as an example. So you would go over to FinViz, and in FinViz, you would see the price to earnings ratio is going to be right here. So that's our price to earnings ratio, is 250.47. And then to get the industry, we need to go up here to groups. And we see, keep in mind that Dexcom is in the healthcare industry. So when we go to groups and we go here to price to earning, price to earnings, and then custom. I know, lots of steps, but I'll go through that one more time. We can see our P&E ratio for our, I do this every time. We do, our price to earnings for healthcare is 27.74. So just to go through that one more time, first thing you do is you check what sector the stock is a part of. So for Dexcom, it is part of the healthcare sector. Before we leave this page, we want to write down what the price to earnings ratio is for Dexcom. We see that here, our where I have highlighted, our price to earnings is 250.47. After that, to get the industry, let's go up to the top here. We're going to go to groups, and under order, we're going to change our order from name to price to earnings. And then instead of seeing it as a bar chart, I just want the numbers. So I'm going to click here on custom, which will then give me a table showing me the price to earnings for all of the different sectors. Now, remember, Dexcom is part of the healthcare sector. So that is going to be our number 8, which the price to earnings for healthcare gives us 27.74. Yes, so the numbers will be slightly different sometimes, and that is because we're getting the information from different places, most likely. If we check here.
Also, it's the price over the earnings, so the price changes.
Correct. So it
Price over the
depends.
last 12 months earnings.
It depends on where you get the information from. All of this is pulling from FinViz, so we would expect it to be the same. Nettie just said that's a different table. I can change my formulas to use this table, which it has all sectors. That's very interesting. I would be curious to see what the difference is for that. Osman has a question. Is it a good idea to have a stock of Tesla for a kid?
I bought it for my kid.
This is true. It is a good stock. There's no doubt about it. But I personally feel that the company it thrives on the news. Tesla has never spent a single dollar on advertising. All of their advertisement and all of their attention has come from Elon Musk causing news or Tesla causing news. So the stock is a super strong stock because Tesla is an incredible company, but at the same time, a lot of the price of the stock can change if Elon Musk tweets something that is not in public favor, or if he tweets something a lot of people disagree with. That is going to directly cause the price of the stock to change. That being said, I own a share. It's right behind me. I do own a single share of Tesla. So I say that I take that with a grain of salt, that I do own Tesla and I do have a Tesla car. I love the company, but it is also an investment that is very volatile. It will change quite a lot. Is Tesla a long-term stock? That is a great question. And personally, I would want to see how they do over the next few years to really be able to say, because it's a company that is thriving on media attention and on buzz. So it's, can they keep that momentum going? And can they continue to create cars that are efficient and are safe? Mom, do you have anything to add to that, or?
No, I think it's too early to tell if it's a long-term, and they better create cars that are safe and efficient because you're in it.
So I think people are getting this. I know there's been a couple of questions about relative strength. I think relative strength is something that we should save for Wednesday because that's a whole class. I think we should
just concentrate on that.
Yeah, that'll be a whole class that we want to do. I'm going to take Marcela's question, and then Mom, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Marcela, are you there?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello. Oh my God.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I just want to know what is the relative strength. I was looking for in all the classes. I didn't find it, and I just feel frustrated for that. I hear right now that you say for the next class, so it's fine.
Can I give you my promise that we will do it on Wednesday?
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, but relative strength, just in a symbol, is when you compare something to the performance of something else, of a group. How is Jonathan compared to all the students in his class? Is he excelling? Is he in the top 5% of the class? Is he in the bottom 5% of the class? That's relative strength. Relative strength index is how Jonathan is doing compared to how Jonathan usually does. So it's when you just look at yourself and you compare it to yourself. We don't use that. We use relative strength because we like to compare. And I'm going to show you now why we use it and how you use it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the question, Marcela. And I promise you Wednesday we'll go over relative strength. There's one more question about bullish percent. I think that that's something that I would love to cover. I could talk all day about bullish percent. So maybe next week I'll steal a day from my mom and do a class on bullish percent for you all. In the meantime, I feel like I've done enough talking today. Mom, take it from here.
Sounds good. Let me share a screen. I have two stocks for you today. One of them is Quidel.
Here.
And let me go to my little thing. And by the way, thank you, Nettie, for the information that you've shared with us. As you can see, I mean, what a privilege that we get to actually influence what the programmer is doing with the program. So he's saying, okay, I'm going to use, I could use the industries that are the same. What a privilege to be able to say, okay, and then he goes into the cave and he comes up with the right question. So thank you very much. And this is why I encourage you to share things with us, because we'll share it with everybody and we can tweak it as it works the best for each one of us. I am going to show Quidel, which is QDEL. This is a stock that took off today. Can you tell? It took off today. The buy price was 178, correct? It went way past the window, so forget that. It's gone. But I just want to show you, once you buy a stock, what do you do? Because some people say, you know, I got it. I know when to buy it, but now I don't know when to sell it. And you have to know exactly what to buy, when to buy, and when to sell it. 3 parts to that equation for you to make money. So far, the fundamental analysis is helping us decide what to buy. The point and figure is helping us decide when to buy it. But then when do you sell it? Well, according to point and figure, the moment to sell a stock is when it turns into zeros and it goes past the last column of zeros. But that means you're going to lose all of the profit that you had, and you're going to lose to sell at a loss, which is no good. So there are other subtle changes. For example, see before it went down to here, you could say, okay, 180 would be a price where if this goes down, definitely I won't let it go down lower than 180. Or you could have bought it at 178 and now it's 200 and something. Look, it went up by 18.42%. And you say, you know what? I am taking some of these profits today. And I like to trade the last hour of trading. I like to trade first at the beginning. I see what's going on and then I go away. And then at the end, I like to see what's happening and make most of my trading decisions to sell at the end. So maybe it would have been a good idea to take some of the nata out, just take the earnings, take your profits out, or take a little more out, because when you have a long longaniza like here, normally look what happens. It goes up like that, then it goes down, and it goes down many times halfway but many times not. And they even give you a red sign here, long tail up. So be aware. So when that happens, take profits out. Take some of it out. Don't be afraid to do it. Take some of your money out. But look how else you can decide what to do with the stock. I'm going to put in there the same stock with Dell. And now I'm showing you the bar, and I'm showing you two lines here. One is the exponential moving average for 21 days. Exponential means that it's giving the last few days more weight than the previous days. So this line here is going up faster because it went up today. So it's going up faster. You notice this line here, it's a 50-day, but it's a simple moving average because it has, everyone has the same weight. It's added up to 50 prices, the 50 closing prices for the last 50 days, added up, divided by 50, and that's what you get. The first one, the 21-day exponential moving average, is a point of decision. So if you went up to here and you say, okay, I am going to treat this, let me see what it's done in the past. And in the past, it has violated. It has crossed this line. It has done its best when it doesn't get too close to the line, but as soon as it starts going down, it crosses it. So when I see that it's done that, I'm going to say, you know, I'm going to take some money at the top because it was a long tail up. And then the rest I'm going to leave in there, and I'm not going to let it go down lower than that 21-day exponential moving average, which is $166. Looking at our price, the high price here was 203 minus 10%, which is 20. It'll give us 183, correct? 183 would be another alert that you could set up. So you have different, and this is where it gets more to be an art than not, because you can't predict what it's going to do. But you can definitely see, first of all, it had a lot of companies backing it up, just like here. See, the volume was up, but then volume was up too, and they sold. So here you could have different alerts for yourself. One, the first one would be the 10% trailing stop. And I like to put it as an alert to me, not necessarily 10%, unless I decide, okay, I'm going to sell 5 shares or 2 shares or whatever it is when it if it hits 10%. Then I'm going to let it go to here. And if it touches this or passes it, then I'm going to sell more. Then the next line of the truth is here. This is where institutions are looking at it. For example, here, when it hit the 50-day line, look what the institutions did right here. They like to wait until it hits there and then they buy it. They cannot get in and out as quickly as we can because they have so many gazillion dollars to put into a company. So they have to wait until they really mean that they are getting into trouble. And if they bounce off the 50-day line, just like if they bounce off the 21-day line, those are very healthy signs. I added some things here, and I want you to write. The last time I showed you how to compare the stock to the sector, well, you can do the same thing with the industry. So not only you want the price performance, and here I put Quidel, so you put whatever symbol you put up here, you put down here the first time. And now when I change the symbol here, I'm going to put Tesla just to give you an example. When you go down, you don't have to change it. It's already changed. See, now it changes Tesla and it compares it to the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the sector, and the industry. And here you're comparing relative strength, which means it's comparing the price performance of, in this case, Tesla against the S&P 500, it beat the S&P 500 by 60%. So it went up higher, 60% higher than the S&P. NASDAQ, it went up 46.78% higher than the NASDAQ, so it's beating the NASDAQ. XLY is, I always get that one confused, discretionary, which is beat 45% of discretionary. So half did better, half did worse. And this is the industry, which is the auto industry. It beat it, the price by 18%. I'm sorry, this means that it beat the discretionary. It's 45% higher than the performance of the discretionary. It doesn't mean that it beat 45%. It means that it beat the price by 45%. So definitely it's a leader. How I would know that it's not a leader is if I have a negative number in any one of these. But as long as you have a positive number, and the number, the higher the better, you see that you have a leader against the S&P, the NASDAQ, the sector, and the industry. So this also makes a difference as to how lenient you can be here. Maybe, and leaders, maybe you're saying, okay, I'm going to give you a little more leeway because you're a leader, but you better straighten out. So the 10%, maybe you're willing to let go, but the 21-day, you're not. So what I do is, first of all, when I buy, I use point and figure because it is so clear that it's the time to buy. But then I look at it here, and with these two lines and my 10%, I start setting limits. See what I mean? So maybe you want to sell it all at 10%. Maybe you want to sell it all at 21 day, or maybe all at 50. It depends on how much your stomach can take. I like to do it incrementally. When a stock goes up as much as this one, I tend to sell it, especially when I see this here. I tend to sell it in the last hour. I sell part of it. And then the rest now I say, okay, now I'm going to be more lenient. I'm going to let you slide down 10%. And whichever is higher, either the 10% or the 21-day. I realize I'm comparing two companies that are not the same. And this is another one that I bought today. I bought Net. I did not buy Quidel today. I missed that one. I bought this one. Okay, now look at point and figure. Okay, triple top breakout. See it? Buy price, 31. And it went down and closed at 30.98. Esa está madura. Okay, this one is still telling us that it's time, and it went up 7% from the close yesterday. So this is still well within the buy range. Now let's say I bought it today and I still have it. So I'm right here and I'm just waiting to see what happens tomorrow. But now I want to see here, look what it did. It's been flirting with the 21-day exponential. The tallest price, very good, Julie. That's talking like a real investor. The highest price that it reached after I bought it was 31.92. Get rid of the first, no, okay. Move one to the left, that's 319. So 31.92 minus 3, that's 29. So let's say around 29. And look, it's right around here. The 10% is right around the 21-day line too. Many times it's going to be one and the same. So I am going to see what happens tomorrow. If it goes down, I'm going to let it go down to this line here, to the 10-day, to the 21-day exponential moving average. If it goes down below it, I will sell it because I don't like it. I'm not going to let it go down to here because there's too many other things that are hitting, that are doing well right now. When the pickings are slim, then I may be easier. But look, it beat, let me get rid of this thing. It beat the S&P 500 by 43%. It beat the NASDAQ by 31. It beat the technology sector by 35%, and it beat the computer software by 33%. So it's definitely a leader. These are all in positive, and the higher the number, the better. Okay, now, any questions about this? We're going to have to give a lot of examples with selling, because that is more of an acquired taste. Okay, let's look at this one. This company had a buy price. Today, it made it to where it was here, but it did not go up. So the buy price is 26, isn't it? Buy price is 26. Today, it made it to 25, but came down, and it went up 10%, 10.5%. So let's say that tomorrow it hits 26. What am I going to do with it? Well, if it continues to go up, I'm happy. But I'm going to, if by the end of the day it's really gone up a lot, I'm going to take some of my money out. And I'm going to then go here and put the account, the stock here, ZYXI. Come on, baby. It's here doing its number. Oh no, I already showed it. Okay, so it's going to, I'm going to let it go to here. Oh no, am I doing the right one? Yeah. It went, I'm going to take the 10% from the top and see where that is. And then that will be my first reaction to see what I'm going to do with it. Then I'm going to go to this line here, and I'm not going to let it go to this one, because look, this one shouldn't go to there. And look what the institutions did. They're using the 21-day exponential line as their decision. When you see this happening, when it gets close to here and it bounces up, that's a very good sign. And that's exactly what happened here. It opened here and it went right up from there. Okay? So now, let me just tell you about the announcement, because this is going to help you too. On Thursday, June 18th, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, that's why I did it that day, so it wouldn't interfere with our class.
4 Pacific, correct?
4 Pacific, same time as these classes. There's a group of us, I call us the girasoles, okay, the sunflowers, because we're all ladies, mature ladies, okay? And what this is we are going to help you invest on your own, but not alone. So this group is not going to be, it's going to be like an investment club, but there's not going to be any money, pooling of monies. Nobody's going to send the money anywhere. You're going to keep the money to yourself. You're going to open your own account. I'm going to show you how to open a brokerage account. And what I am going to do is I am going to concentrate. Melly and I are the ones, because Melly's investing in very successfully. And she's very echapalante. So this is not long-term leaders. This is stocks that you're going to have from hours to weeks. And hours, it won't be me. Okay, unless it's a company that goes up like that in one day and then I take some profits. But Melly is going to show you how she does it, how she finds the companies. So this is a hands-on. You're going to be there and you're going to help then according to how she does it and how I do it, then you are going to participate in finding those types of companies. And then we're going to follow them and say, okay, we bought it here. Now what do we do? We bought it here. What do we do? If you want to buy it, you buy it. If you don't want to buy it, you don't buy it. But this is for you to start training. This is the training wheels for you. So that after the class, we don't just send you out there, but we say, okay, now we're going to do a hands-on. But these are the rules. I'm going to tell you what kind of companies we're going to look for. We're going to look for Be a Profit. That is not the place to say, what is Be a Profit? You're just going to have to take my word that Be a Profit is something that we need to follow, because if anybody wants to start learning what Be a Profit is, they need to listen to these classes. There is for the people that just say, I want to get down and dirty. I want to find stuff to invest in. Don't tell me how to build a watch. Just tell me what time, how to tell the time. Questions? We're going to have 6 classes. We are going to charge because I can't keep doing this. Okay, we've had 34 classes. And these will stay there recorded for you to watch anytime you want to, but this will be a reasonable price, but it will be a price because I am using people that are going to give their time and effort, and I cannot expect them to do what I do. Okay, so we have over 200 people that already signed up for the orientation class. There is no fee for that. There's no obligation for that. You do need to register. Go to, in fact, I don't know if Meli is here, but you can go.
I have the link.
Oh, you have the link? Good. Put the link there so you can register. You need to register. I am going to keep tabs of who is there. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. You can do it. I don't know. I'm going to give you an out. So if you do it for one class and you don't like it, then that's it. You just pay for that one class and that's it. Okay. I'm not going to rip you off, but I do want you to commit to learn. And I've never done this before. So we're building this plane as we fly it. And it's all based on the knowledge and the experience that I have and that Meli has. Okay? We're not telling you to do it. You can do it de mentirita. We can do it on a make-believe portfolio. You can do it for reals. I don't care. It's up to you. You're big people. You can make that decision. It's in Spanish. The class will be in Spanish. But we'll use English if some people need to do it in English. Questions? So this is me taking you by the hand and saying, okay, now sit next to me. Let's go through this every day. I'm going to give you stocks to look at, and I'm going to tell you this is how I found them. This is how I'm going to let you get in my head and in my decision making. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to pay for it, but I'm willing to open my kimono in front of you. I have nothing to hide. And the same thing with Meli. Question?
By the way, the link for the sign up for the orientation is in the chat right now, as well as it will be posted in the description of the video if you're watching this at home.
Okay,
and
I don't
after the
understand,
fact.
Mabel. Dice, no quiero. Okay, I don't understand your message. Me dan una señal. Una señal de qué? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have so many emails, and I do read them all, but I don't get to them every day. How much is that class? I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to be. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you. You tell me. This is going to be 6 classes. We could probably make them once a week or twice a week. I don't want to burn you out. And we'll start it when this class is over, because we have to organize you and all that. We could separate you into groups. We can do many things. But you tell me, how much do you think we should charge? You vote once a week, okay. Once a week is fine. It's what I thought, and you tell me, yeah, once a week I think is good. Just for women, it's illegal for me to do that. You know that I am very partial to my mujerasas because I'm a mujerasa, but you know, I have 2 sons and a daughter-in-law, and two daughters-in-law. So I welcome everybody, but this is going to be a hands-on thing. Daily, Randy, you're a beast. You're trying to kill me. It is going to be in Spanish. It's going to be in Spanish. Okay? You set the price. I set the price.
I will
Well,
most
don't know.
likely be there in those classes though, so I can handle any English questions or anything that people have in the English department.
And
Yeah,
we're
we'll
going
probably
to,
both be around.
and we're going to, we're going to have chats. We're going to give you the support during those 6 weeks because we're going to mentor you during those 6 weeks. So you're going to be my baby and her baby. We're going to give you a lot of love. That's how we're going to do this. So I don't know. You tell me. I think it could be maybe once a week, maybe twice a week. I don't know. So let me think about it. And then Thursday, we will give you more. You just come as you are. It's a Zoom meeting. So Francia, I suggest that, you don't scare us like this. But then we'll go from there. It's 6 classes. I don't know.
Also, there's a few people asking about my program. I will be sharing that again on Wednesday, so people will get to see that and get to use it a little bit on Wednesday's class. But that program is going to be coming out in the next week to 2 weeks. So very, very soon.
Great question, Maria Burgos. ¿Quién es Meli? Meli is a lady that I've known a few ladies for maybe, 20 years, maybe, or longer. They have been with me from the beginning. They were followers. Meli retired from her to do just investments at 56. So she started investing. She started one of many, okay? Magnolia, Vero, you're going to meet them all. So I want you to meet my inner circle, my close friends, the people that would take a bullet for me. These are the women that I'm willing to share with you. So I want you to love them and be kind to them because they will be with you. But Meli started one investment club. It was called the Cosa Nostra. She lives in Chicago. She has nothing to do with the mafia. And they started putting in $30 a month and then they increased it. Well, they built it up to over $500,000. And then they distributed it among all of the members of the group. And then they opened another group, much smaller, that is investing very aggressively. And year to date, I don't know what Meli has done up to now. She can talk to us, but she had done 50% on her investments. That doesn't mean this is what you're going to do. You could lose money. You could lose all of it. This is putting a lot of pressure on her. She has never had anybody looking over her shoulder. She's very nervous about this. So I'm just telling you, we're going to try this and see what happens. But you know that it's at your own risk. Nobody's going to collect money from you. You don't have to do it with one penny. The only cost to you is going to be the cost of the instruction because we are going to teach you. You're going to learn a lot. But other than that, that's who Meli is. And each one of them has an incredible story like that.
I think it's worth saying that a lot of the information that we share with you is not information we were born with or information we studied in school. It's information that we learned from talking with other investors or other friends and then just asking more questions and having fun trying to find the answers. A lot of people ask me really, really good questions that oftentimes I may not know the answer 100%, but I get to learn something by helping to find the answer. And that's what these classes is going to be. It's not going to be everyone knows this golden formula for investing. It's going to be about growing together because I will be in those classes and I will be learning a lot. So come learn with me.
And I did go to school, by the way. I took all of my licenses and it's not my ego talking. I want you to know that you're dealing with somebody that, I let all my licenses go, Series 6, 7, blah, 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 blah. I was a stockbroker, all of that because of what I do. I cannot take, do your trades for you. But I also sign up to the best of the best out there in the industry. So I'm constantly learning, and this is the kind of information I like to bring to you. So I want
Learning
you to have
never
the state
ends.
of the art. No.
Learning never ends.
Okay, so that's it. That's is it perfect? It is perfect for beginners. Well, it's perfect for beginners si tú eres echado pa'lante. If you're a scaredy cat, if you, we're not doing drips, we're not doing mutual funds, we're not doing diversified ETFs. This is down and dirty stocks. And these, we're talking stocks that are aggressive growth. We're talking stocks that you're going to have to drive that car, but you're going to learn to drive a race car. So this is for those of you that maybe are on Prozac or should be, that maybe need, I am. So I'm very proud to say it, okay? Changed my life. And that you like to take control of your finances. This is for those of you that don't like to watch the paint dry. Maybe at some point we will do more conservative investments, but these are aggressive. These are not day trading, although sometimes we may take profits that same day. But these are not marriage material. This is not stock. This is not Warren Buffett or Mario Medina. This is Julian Melly. Okay? So I think that de panzazo, sí, Adelita, tienes mucha razón. This is trading. This is being an investor, but it's being a trader, not traitor. A trader is something else, okay, that we don't like. But a trader is somebody who trades. Questions? Okay, so there is, it's adrenaline time, down and dirty. And next time we will talk about relative strength. And then we have bullish percentage. It is June 15. Our last class is June 29. Oh, okay. So we'll see what we come up with. All right, everybody, anything, Jonathan, Kira, that you need to share?
I think the only thing I would want to share is right about now is when many high schools and elementary schools and middle schools are finishing up their years. So I wanted to just wish a congratulations to all of you that finished up the school year. It was a crazy school year. There's no doubt about it. But thank you for joining us for one extra class on your schedule and for being a part of these classes. Someone earlier asked, so what do you guys get out of this class? We get the enjoyment of being here to help you all learn and having some fun while doing it.
We're learning too, because we need to learn. We need to give you what you want. And I think that it's okay to charge for what you do as long as what you charge is par with the value that you offer, right? So.
And to answer your question of what do we get out of this, I basically did not do stocks before helping this class. Like I just did not even care about the stock market. So the fact that I'm here learning along with you is amazing. Also, all of these videos are on Facebook and we have started posting them to YouTube. So they will be up tonight. Thank you.
Okay.
So congratulations to all of you that finished your school year and good luck to all of you that are still in finals. The end is in sight and congratulations to you all. And thank you for being here.
Oh, and somebody's saying it's muy lejos una vez por semana. Yes, but every day you're going to get a little blurb from me with what happened that day. I'm telling you, I'm going to baby you, honey. I am going to smother you with love. So, okay.
Awesome. Thank you all. Have a great one.
Okay.
See you all on Wednesday.